This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Sad Robots role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The system is Sad Robots. It was created by Morgan Llewellyn, who is also our game master, and this is a one-shot. Without any further delays, then, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
Thank you very much, Thom. So, in Sad Robots, our players will be taking on the role of a robot that has been left behind by the humans on a far-flung and lonely space station somewhere out in the galaxy. The humans have abandoned our robots 813 years ago. So, we're going to have our players create their robots. So you need to give your robot a name. You need to give your robot a function. What was your robot designed to do? Um, you give your robot a drive, which is what your robot desires most of all, and then a malfunction. So in these 813 years that have transpired since the humans left, you have developed a malfunction. Something has gone wrong.
Do we have any other details about the space station or its
Um,
location?
we will assemble the space station collectively once we have our team of robots. So that's something like if you have a particular idea um, that is very location specific, um, that's something you might want to, say to the group. Like if you're like, I want a mining robot, then it makes sense to put the station on some kind of planetary or moon or asteroid or something.
So name, function,
And a
Drive, which is like
malfunction.
what your
drive.
robot desires. So,
hmm
a robot could desire, like if we think of like a simple cleaning robot, um,
hmm
you know, we could call it Bubbles. Um, Bubbles' function is to clean, and Bubbles' drive is to have the station spotless. Like that is what propels. That's what motivates them. That's what the goal they are pursuing. Um, and then we could say the malfunction is that their little mopping apparatus has stopped spinning. Um,
Yeah.
as a simple example.
You want us then to tell everyone what we are?
Yep, we will.
Okay.
Once
So
everyone
I'll
is
go
ready, we will
first.
share. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll wait until everybody's ready then.
I think I'm ready.
I'm feeling like
Well,
uh
maybe if we do ours, then
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
get the idea.
There you
Okay,
go.
so
I'll
I'm gonna go
find
with
something.
the name I made up. I'm gonna be Clerk Nine, and I was designed to organize and keep all of the records of the station logs. Um, there were originally a lot of people here, and I kept all of the records. Um, and my malfunction is that because there were a variety of humans of all different cultures, my alphabet matrix is completely mixed up, and I can't properly organize the files any longer because alphabet almost means nothing to me anymore. Sometimes I organize everything based on the color of their hair, but those files are huge, so I cut them down.
Okay, I can go. I'm a cleaning and recycling unit 19, so Karu 19. And I'm a cleaning and recycling robot. I go around, I clean. The main thing I do though is recycling. So I gather up, when the humans are here, I'd gather up waste, take it to the recyclers, dump it in. Also, part of my job is I go around and assess things that may be broken beyond repair, so I can take those, put them in a recycler, break them down so they can be reused in whatever way. Um, my drive is to, um, let's see, it's really to become more efficient, each time. Find new ways to navigate the station, new ways to, carry things that need to be recycled, stuff like that. So efficiency is kind of my drive. My malfunction is since the humans have left, my positioning system in the ship has gone haywire. So sometimes I just forget where I am or how to get to where I want to go.
You wander the station trying to.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to wander around till something clicks and I see a familiar location and like, okay, I'm at the cafeteria or whatever. So now I know left is the bridge.
You've also at some point run out of trash.
Yeah. Yes. That's probably the big problem. There's no waste. So now I'm desperately searching for things that are broken so I can carry them off to the recycler and have them broken down for whatever purpose.
It's like David's got a name. Yeah.
Yeah, I am 8R1K or Brick for short. Um, my function as designed was to maintain the structural integrity of the space station. My drive is to improve the station for its human inhabitants. And my malfunction is that I've gotten a bit creative since they haven't requested any new structures or spaces. I've sort of begun to make things up that might be useful. Um, my problem is kind of the opposite of 19's, in that there's a finite quantity of material inherent on the space station, but I want to transform into new things. I need to find raw materials one way or another.
I can go next. Um, I am playing DC-E, which is Domestic Comfort Entertainment, also known as DICE. My job on the ship was to provide entertainment for the humans when they were here. So I would organize games, various kinds of entertainment activities, movie nights, things like that. And my desire was to bring happiness to the humans through these games. My malfunction is that I can only remember the rules to Monopoly. And so every day I go out into the entertainment room and I set up various Monopoly boards for the people to play, but they don't play it because they're not here. And I get drinks and snacks and things and all laid out. And then at the end of the day, I take it all down and put everything away. And this is what I do.
I would imagine a time or two. I've wandered through and seen a Monopoly board just sitting there for too long and almost thought it was waste, just out of desperation.
I'm sure that's not going to come up in conflict at all.
All right. I'm Jan 1T, pronounced Janet. And I'm a teacher. My drive is to learn and share knowledge. Um, and my malfunction is one of my eyes has failed, so I don't have any depth perception. Um, and I'm sad, kind of like Dice, because I don't have any children to teach. So I get to teach you guys.
Okay. So now I sent you all a copy, if you'll check the Discord channel, of the PDF of the rule book. If you search for station building questions, if you control find,
Station building prompts. Yeah.
yeah.
Page 2. Yeah.
So these station building questions, you will see a list of questions, and basically what you will do is you'll pick three of these questions to answer, and your answer will be a location on the space station. Okay, so again, going back to my cleaning robot example, I could say that where I spend most of my time would be the corridors of the space station. Um, and so what we're going to do is we're going to open up a Zoom whiteboard. Normally, this is when it's done in person, you use index cards to lay out the station with your answers. But in this case, yeah, we're going to use Zoom's whiteboard feature to do this. Um, so take a little bit of time, pick three of those questions to answer, and then we'll go around one at a time, playing down, taking turns playing down locations onto our station. So basically, what I'm going to have everybody do is like when you put down your card, you'll put down a rectangle, and then you'll type in the location on your card. So I'll just go first as root or the facilitator of the game. I have some questions of my own. So I'm going to answer the question, what is a place outside of the station? And I'm going to say that wherever we are, there is a nearby moon. I'll put the card down. So Thom, if you would like to go next.
Okay. The place where I spend most of my time is the Hall of Records.
Okay.
And despite the fact that you would think it was all computerized, some of the people in charge of the station were terrified that the computers would break down. So this is all on crystalline paper in giant filing cabinets that go on seemingly forever. Maybe
The
that's
card
too big.
catalogs of the future.
Yeah. Make it small so we can fit them all on here.
Okay, perfect. Kent, if you want to go next.
Okay. I'm also going with where do I spend most of my time, and it is we will call it cafeteria, um, because it is where the most waste was produced. More importantly, it's the one place I always know where it is. It is the one place that is not, I don't forget. So if I can find my way there, I mean, I can always find my way there, but everywhere else, not so much.
Okay, great. David, if you want to go next.
Well, that is directly related to me then, because I spend I'm currently in the uh, kitchen fabricator, um, because I'm pilfering materials. Um, it's the only place where new stuff seems to ever get made. That nobody's actually using except occasionally Dice, comes by for some chips, but I usually successfully avoid that interaction.
Okay, great. That's Steve, if you want to go next.
Sure. So I spend most of my time in the classroom
Okay,
waiting for
perfect.
the kids.
Mhm. And then Julian.
Yes. Um, I I also spend most of my time in the rec room,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's where I'm spending most of my time setting up games that nobody's going to play.
Okay, wonderful. Um, so kind of it's back to me again. So we'll kind of flesh out the location of where our station is a little more. Um, so I'll say that also outside of the station, we'll say that we are orbiting um, a gas giant.
So the place that only I know about, and which I would absolutely freak out if anybody else found it, is the restricted records. Restricted records, which is attached to the I can't seem to grab it. There it is. Which is attached to the Hall of Records.
Okay,
It's
great.
hidden behind a bookcase.
They'll never find it. They'll never know. Kent, if you want to go next.
Okay. The place I am forbidden to go is, I guess, where the recycling actually happens. So, us cleaning and recycling units, we dump stuff in chutes all throughout the station. That all feeds down to the recyclers. And for some reason, whatever, it is written in our code, we are not allowed to go there. So we are, I mean, if we pass by where it is, it's kind of just a blind spot to us. So
Okay.
we'll
So
call it
the
the
recycler.
recycler room.
Okay, perfect. David?
I hope no one ever confused the recycler room and the rec room and the restricted records room. I can't imagine why that would happen. Um, a place that I go to rest is the reactor core. I basically it's my hearth. I like to be near the strange rumble of human science and the titillating radiation that leaks through the shielding. It's nice, mentally toast marshmallows there.
Okay, great. Steve?
So if I get this wrong, uh, don't be afraid to straighten me out. But I'm the only one aboard that knows about a biological storage facility that has frozen embryos in it.
Okay, great. Someday they will be your pupils.
Exactly. I protect them.
All right, Julian.
Okay. So I like to go to rest in a cupboard near the air handling system. I really like it because the sound kind of reminds me of people, makes me think that there's actually people around, given the sound that's made.
It
Okay.
whispers.
Yeah, yeah, it's just so it comforts me to be there.
Okay. I will hold off on adding another location. So Tom, if you want to
Yeah.
give us your last location.
Okay. My last location is a huge, vast hangar bay wherein were stored 500 ships for the colonists, and that's completely empty. It's like a huge, horrible liminal space that echoes when you walk across the floor and just reminds you that there is nothing, no people here at all. So Hangar Bay. It takes, and I don't like to go there. I like to avoid it because it makes me feel very uneasy.
Okay. Kent.
Okay. So one place I only know about is it's a room like a I don't know, maybe like a penthouse or something for when humans are here. Um, and it is where I take the rest of my cleaning and recycling units when I find them broken. I'm supposed to recycle them, dump them in a chute. But for some reason I don't. I take the broken ones to all to this room and leave them in this room. We'll call it the Karu penthouse.
And what do you collect in that room? Sorry, I
Uh,
didn't.
the other units like me that are broken. So instead of
Oh,
instead of
your
instead of
your
re
your fellows.
yeah, instead of recycling them, I take there's probably like 20 of us total, and I've collected a number of us to go and store there instead of recycling them like I should be doing.
They're your friends.
Okay.
You couldn't just throw them in the
Right. We
recycler.
had we had we had connections.
Okay, great. Um, David.
The place where I spend as much time as I can is externally, running around the outside of the vessel, um, sometimes gazing longingly at the moon and all of its mineral resources, but also looking for places where I could maybe get a new room or pod or scuttling around in the
Mhm.
void.
Okay, great. And Steve?
So the place Janet avoids is the observation deck. The reminder that we're all alone here with so much out there, but also she can't really see three dimensions very well, so it freaks her out.
Okay. And finally, Julian.
I avoid going to the living quarters area. I avoid the area because it makes me it makes me sad because it's empty. And I started to avoid it when I realized or I began to think that maybe the humans aren't coming back. And so I don't go there.
And we are, with that, ready to begin. So, Karu, how many of your fellow units are still functional?
I think counting me 4.
Four.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll say 2, 7, and 12 are still out there.
So tell us, where on this particular day, which this is to the day 813 years since the humans left, where do you encounter Karu 12?
I think I think I encountered Karu 12 during one of my moments of being lost, wandering, and I think it's somewhere between the Hall of Records and the classroom. So maybe in a hallway that's kind of between there, coming from, we're coming from opposite directions and just pass by each other. And
Okay. What do Karu units look like?
I think we hover. I think we're pretty cylindrical. We have um like a tube that comes out that like vacuums up like mess like food mess and stuff, small things. And then I think we have um arms and like pincers that can come out of our sides to pick up bigger things and hold them.
Okay. So as you're um yeah, you're not entirely sure where you are. This hallway seems entirely unfamiliar to you. And as you're hovering there in confusion, Karu 12 rounds the corner and bumps into you.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, 12. Oh wow,
hello.
it's been well, I don't know how long it's been.
It has been exactly 2.3 years.
Do you know, have I been in this hallway that long? Surely not.
Oh, I was just talking about the last time that we exchanged greetings.
Yeah, okay. So I probably haven't been in here since then. I don't even know. Yeah, okay. So what are you up to? Found any new mess to recycle?
Unfortunately, no.
It's the same. Same. I keep looking for broken things, but nothing's broken.
The last thing that I found was, and it reaches into its little storage compartment, and it pulls out this tiny little metal dog.
Oh, that's interesting.
I found this on the floor.
That's a I've seen similar things, like similar size and material. And it was surrounding like a board. I was gonna pick it up one day because I thought it was mess. But Dice shooed me away real fast. Said it assured me it wasn't mess. That it had a purpose. I couldn't see it, but Dice said that it did have a purpose and I should leave it there.
Yes, well, I found it on the floor,
Where'd you find it on the floor?
in the recreation room.
Well, I mean, if it's on the floor, it's probably trash, right? I mean, they
That's
wouldn't
what I
just,
thought.
yeah, they wouldn't just leave something important on the floor.
But I have been waiting for something else before I take it to the recycler.
What are you, what are you waiting for? Just,
Oh, my internal storage compartment is nowhere near full.
oh,
It
yeah,
would be inefficient for me to return now.
it would. You're right. It would be very inefficient. Yeah, that's pretty small. Is there anything else in your internal storage unit?
It stops, it ponders. It reaches its other arm in, comes out. I have found this little shoe.
Well, that same material was
Yes,
this
they both appear to be metal.
also on the floor?
Yes, that is in fact where I found it.
You are so lucky, 12. I mean, the last thing I have, and I reach into mine and pull out a crumpled up hamburger wrapper. It's like I found this shortly after, uh, well, not shortly after, it was probably years after the humans left, and I found it back in the corner under a chair. But that's all I have. I haven't found anything since. Nothing's broke, and I haven't noticed anything on the floor. Which I spend a lot of time in the hallways trying to find my way. So those are usually pretty clean.
Mm. Yes, well, I suppose I must be going. Who knows what I might find?
Well, I hope you find something. I hope I find something. It's per, having purpose is good.
And as 12 goes to move away, it just hovers directly sideways and bumps into a wall, um, and hugs that wall as it moves along.
And I just continue down my hall, just wherever I'm going.
Yeah, yeah. Again, you're pretty sure. Like if you've never been in this part of the station before, right? Like what is this place? Um, and you go um travel along and you go through this doorway, um, and you are surrounded by this vast sea of filing cabinets.
Well, this is a lot. I don't know why I've never been in here. I guess is it off limits to me? I kind of check
Am
to
I
see.
hearing someone? Is someone here?
Uh, oh yeah, yes. Karu 19. I stumbled in. It's hard for me to find my way around the station anymore. My positioning is off constantly. I don't,
Haru 19, you are a level 12 cleaning droid.
yes, cleaning and recycling unit. Yes.
I have your records. I believe they're over here, but I can't seem to make any heads or tails of whatever organization system I've been using. The Alpha, B, Zeta, Theta, L, M, R, P. They're all out of order. Have you been cleaning in here?
I have never been in here, so that's not to say one of my contemporary units has not, but I have not cleaned in here.
I have no record of you ever being in here. You are telling the truth. Someone has been fooling with my files.
Do you have waste files? Any that you don't use anymore that are laying on the floor?
One never knows when the files need to be seen again. It's also somewhat um, argumentative. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. Um, why I keep physical records, but all of these are repeated within the computer's memory banks. But I was tasked with keeping all these records in perfect condition in case they were needed later or if the computer systems broke down. So, no, there's nothing in here that is wasteful. However, if I do find duplicate records, I might be able to give those to you.
Oh
We
yes, I've
don't need
got.
duplicates.
I can get those recycled, taken care of, out of your way. Absolutely.
Well,
I,
I'll keep my eye out for them. It may be some time, though, before I find any. You could
okay.
check back in a few years, perhaps,
Oh, okay. I was
or
just
I'll
gonna.
come to find you.
That'd probably be easier than me finding my way back
Don't
here.
go in that room, whatever you do.
Okay.
Okay,
Kara just
move.
hovers for a bit, waiting to see if waste appears magically.
So as a Karu 19 is hovering, waiting for litter to appear. Um, Brick, how are your efforts going in the kitchen fabricator unit today?
There, there's so many buttons and there are so many touch screens, but my pads do not affect touch screens. I am not mushy that way. So I've been trying to keep track. Some of the buttons I can push extrude organic stuff. And then I can rub the organic stuff on the touch screens and it kind of lights up. And I I've got this working on a protocol. I can extrude what that thing is called a Vina sausage. The Vina sausage button will last for like a minute and a half on a touchscreen before it just smushes into goo. But it's hard to learn what the touchscreen buttons do in a minute and a half. Um, and then I've tried to take the waste material from that and compact it usefully. And it's not, even with my polymer binding, I can put things inside my, core and bind them into different shapes, but nothing. It's I'm starting to smell inside. It's another reason that I go out on sort of EVAs because like the extra material just sort of freezes and floats away.
So
God, that's a
how
beautiful moon.
yeah, it's quite gorgeous and it should be coming around soon. Uh, but how long have you been at this particular attempt at navigating the touch screens?
Well, uh, you know, I, I don't want to deplete the human food stuff that, right? So I can't be wasteful. Um, and I spent a lot of time just sort of correlating the data in front of the reactor core, trying to get it all together so I can be very efficient. Because I've got this idea for a kind of so the sort of sweeping oval chamber that would exist on the moon side of the station that would allow the humans to kind of slide through an experience of admiring the moon and imagining what minerals it might contain. I think it's got sodium. I think there's some, I, I really don't have a spectrometer. The colors, though, I'm thinking there's probably, oh, aluminum in that. You can make anything out of aluminum. It's light, it's strong. Ah, yeah. So I come in here, I make an experiment or two, and then I contemplate.
Okay. Well, as you're finishing up your most recent experiment, um, dice. I believe you were headed toward to refill the snack tray.
Yes, I am coming in with various platters uh, that I'm carrying, which all contain old, moldy, deteriorated snacks that I have carefully laid out that no one has ate. Um, and so I'm bringing them back to the kitchen to replenish them with brand new snacks for my rec room.
Yeah, so you come in, um, and you see a very thoughtful looking brick.
Oh,
Hmm.
hello.
Hello. How are the games going? And who's winning?
Oh, there hasn't been a game won in um, 813 years.
Hmm. That's
It's a
a funny
long,
number.
it's the longest game of Monopoly there's ever been.
Um, I uh if you'd like to if you'd like to purge yourself of the aromatic compounds that are emanating from I is that a I think that's a guacamole that you had there some time ago. I find that if I go out through an airlock, the unpleasant organic compounds kind of seize up and float away. I can come back feeling refreshed and no. I mean, I'm designed, however, for internal and external behaviors. I don't know if you're.
Uh, I'm mostly designed as a domestic comfort unit, so I'm pretty much work inside with humans. Um, it's been a bit dull recently.
what do you, um, what is the purpose of them, playing those games?
Uh,
Those are the
it's-
right words, right?
yes, yes. Um, I was programmed that humans like to enjoy themselves and have fun. And it's a way to escape from everyday stresses.
Right. But there is already you've already got a space for that. You don't need an escape room or a de-stressor or a fun place exactly. Because I've got ideas. But if you already have a place for that, then, I'm not really, redundancy doesn't seem, gotta husband my resources.
Yeah, I understand. Um, I've got, tons of games. Unfortunately, I don't remember how any of them actually work, so I can't set them out. I can only set out one. Um, and I've got a bad suspicion that I've been losing pieces or something's been stealing pieces. I'm not sure.
Oh, I know. Don't look at me.
Oh, I'm not accusing of anyone. Um,
Mhm.
but
How many games do you offer? I mean, you only have one now.
yes, I only have one that I offer. So I've actually got several copies of the game. It's got different iterations. There's Star Wars, there's Star Trek, there's all these different themes, but it's really the same game, just with different coloring and things. I think it's kind of silly. I don't know why they would actually make such redundancies like that.
I wonder if that's why they haven't been around for so long.
Hmm,
Maybe they're looking for new themes.
maybe. I'm curious, you say you have ideas. What kind of ideas do you have?
I just feel like there's so many different kinds of places that humans could be. If you look around the station as it exists, most of the rooms are kind of the same. They're some are a little rounder, some are a little pointier, but none of them are really pointy. Like imagine what a human could do in a room that was just all prongs,
Hmm,
right? Every part they touched was sharp. Who knows what they could do with that, right? Um, what if there was a kind of you have the playroom where you're at, right? And
yep.
then there's the reactor core. What if there was a room where you could play with the the heavy compounds?
Hmm,
I just it used to be somebody would say, well, we need a crash for the embryos, right? Or, I'd like a clear dome that would allow me to look out of the vessel. Without any input, I'm just coming up with my own, fresh new ideas, right? So when they come back, I can wow them. Because maybe that's another thing. Maybe the reason they haven't been around for a little bit is because we just didn't give them any fresh new ideas.
hmm.
Maybe you should take your game and make up some new rules.
Interesting. Interesting. I could try.
If again, I think spatially, I don't really know about this. I mean, you could show me how your game works.
Oh yes, I could certainly show you how it works.
And
Uh,
maybe I'll think of some improvements for the rec room.
I like the sound of that, actually. It could make it a much more fun space. We could actually bring the humans back.
It's worth a try. I'm just going to gather some of these baking trays in case I need some raw materials for the rec room.
Okay.
And just start shoveling stainless steel into my torso.
Haru, I
So
have.
it,
Oh, go ahead.
oh,
I was just going to improvise. Karu, I have records here of children that were on the station, but they're incomplete. Do you know where the classroom is? I believe there is a robot there in charge. Lead the
Um,
way.
oh boy. Okay. Um, we will go to the classroom.
okay. Roll.
Try to. Yeah.
Yeah. So Karu, we're gonna have you make a roll for us real fast.
Okay.
Okay, just roll 1d10 for me.
A 4.
Okay. So after 4 hours, you finally reach the classroom,
Which
which
is
ended up
wild.
just
'Cause I was in the hallway between the classroom and this place.
so Clerk 9, Karu, you come into the classroom. So Janet, how have you set up your classroom?
Oh, well, it's mostly for younger children, so there's pillows to sit on and lots of soft things. There's at the front, there's the modern version of a chalkboard, of course. Um, and as soon as these guys come in, I notice Clerk and I say, "Oh, Clerk, you're back for your next lesson. Oh, good, good, good. Now, do you remember the song we practiced last time?
Yes, of
A,
course.
B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Sing with me. T, U, V.
T-U-V
W
W
X
X
Y
Y and
Z.
Z
Very
alpha
good.
beta
Very
delta
good. Very
gamma.
good.
Well, we didn't finish. We have 734 more letters to go.
Now, I made something since the last time you visited. I made these blocks so you can practice with them. And she reaches out to grab one of these blocks with the letter A on it, and she keeps missing it. Like, it's here,
It
here, here. Wait,
it
I let you make piles. The kids always love to make piles with these blocks like this. And she puts one down and it falls.
Are these pillows on the floor waste? They're on the floor.
They're very comfortable. Maybe you should sit down and try.
the the letters on your blocks are not clear. Is that a English Z or is it a Greek theta?
Uh, these are English letters. But thank you for reminding me. I will do the Greek alphabet the next time I go to the 3D printer.
There's
And
a
the Russian
thud.
and the Spanish and the Arabic and the Turkish. And I have records here of children. Have you seen the children?
The children are gone, clerk.
There's a thud as Karu turns off his hovering and slams onto one of these pillows on the ground.
We're waiting for them to come back.
Well, I have all of their records. Some of them show that their immunizations are well past due.
Well, I'm sure their parents are caring for them.
Have you been to the Hall of Records and been rearranging my files.
No, but do you need help? I can tell you I know you have a problem with alphabet order, and I can tell you and teach you while you file.
Yes, I
A,
could use your
B,
assistance.
C, D, E,
E,
F,
F, G,
G. That's right. Very
H,
good.
I, J, A.
Karu starts hovering again. It's like
Tell.
the pillows are comfortable. Are they waste? They're on the floor.
They are not waste. The children find them very comforting to lean against. That's also why my body is soft and pliable, so that the children can touch and feel the soft warmth.
I I have noticed that some of the other robots um, have aromas. They might have waste.
Ooh. Which one? Ooh.
I don't know their names. I know that one of them hangs on the outside of the ship and wiggles.
Karu, what lesson are you seeking today?
Well, I'm not. I guess I could. My navigation of the ship has malfunctioned a little bit. I often get
Ah.
lost.
So you need help learning how to read atlases or understanding compasses. I think I have a compass here somewhere.
I mean, it can't hurt at this point.
So yeah, Janet pulls out a compass and um
My little arms comes out
And
and
it and the compass points very rigidly towards the magnetic field of the gas giant.
so is this
that
only
way is
goes
north.
okay? Pull it
I will go
into
question the others, and I turn around and walk out.
I'll go with. I'm sure they have lessons they need to learn too. Come along, Karu, and you can practice navigating with your compass.
holding it out in front of me.
Very good. Which way are we going now?
We are going northeast.
Ah, keep practicing.
Okay.
A, B, C, D.
E,
Karu's
F,
also
G,
singing
H,
the alphabet
I,
song.
J, K, Theta, Lambda,
LMNOP.
me.
So
Me, ro, me.
as this plucky trio starts making their way through the station, um, Brick and Dice, you two arrive in the recreation room.
Yeah, I've got it designed right now. You can see I've got this disco ball at the top with the light shining on it, and it gives this effect around the room. And I have some dubstep, is what it's called, on the sound machine. My programming suggests that this is what humans find to be entertaining.
Mm, right. Well, your vision with the sort of moving stars on the inside with the stationary stars on the outside, I can see why the humans would like that. In terms of the repeated vibration, your guess is as good as mine. I honestly, I just like, tiny particles that shoot through cladding. They warm me. But I don't think the humans don't ever go down there. So that might be, we might just be different in that regard. So show me your game.
Okay. I'll take you over to a table, and there is set up this Monopoly board. It is designed for 4 players. You can see that there are little tokens, different shapes. You know, this one's a little car. This one is an iron. And you roll dice and you move along. And as you move along, you buy properties, you build hotels, and you collect money from other players. And who collects the most money is the winner of this game.
So which part of this is the fun?
Well, my observations have taught me that there is no part of this game that is actually fun. In fact, I do recall many instances where humans became very violent with one another and screamed and yelled at each other at various points in the game.
So what we can do if we want the humans to, you know, end their lunch break and come around again is we can take the elements that you have here and do something else that is fun with them. And you think that that involves violence.
Well, it was my observation from many games that the games usually ended up resulting in arguments and violence. Yes.
Um, Also, what with the being in constant free fall in the space station around the moon, around the gas giant, the dice rolling, when does that resolve? Like they throw the dice and then they continue to rotate off surfaces. Is that maybe part of the problem?
Possibly. I know that some of the humans had tried magnetic dice, where they would kind of throw it against a metal surface. There was also some attempts to put dice in little bubbles, where you would just sort of push a thing and it would blub blub. And that seemed to be reasonably okay.
Okay. And money. You said they exchange money. What?
Yeah.
How do
Yes.
we, you know,
Yeah. They have this little colored pieces of paper that they called money. And it is available in various denominations from 100 to $1. And they would
wow.
exchange these things for little tokens, like see the little green tokens and the little red tokens. And they correspond to various values upon the cards.
Okay.
And
All right.
yes,
Right.
typically the more red tokens that end up on properties, the more angry and shouting took place.
And you had other games.
Yes.
Do we want to, maybe we want to look through some of, I mean, there's cabinetry along the
Mhm.
sides here. We want to look through and find some other pieces maybe we can add to make a game that's more dynamic or more violent. I
No, I mean, I think maybe your room with pointy objects
hmm hmm
might be a good idea to incorporate into this new game that we're going to create. But yes, I have all kinds of cabinets here uh, with games. Uh,
Right.
and
I'm gonna start manipulating some of this surplus stainless steel into pointy rods and begin to fix them around this room. And then maybe you can produce some of these other game materials, and we're gonna make new fun. We're gonna invent some serious fun. And then when they hear about that, then they'll have all kinds of reasons to be here and talk to us, give us things to do.
excellent, and I go and I start pulling games out of cupboards.
Okay, so back to our plucky trio. Um, it sounds like the fun room renovations are well underway.
Tell me what you think of me. I believe my records show that that is also another song written by Wolfgang Mozart.
Sometimes I play some of his music when it's nap time for the children, but there's no words to it. Is that music I hear?
Yeah, it seems to be this very like there's this heavy bass to it and this like electronic squelching over the top of it. You could call it music, I think.
Karu, practice navigating and with your compass to take us to the music.
Okay. I can follow sound pretty well. So I'm navigating through the halls towards the sound, and I have
Yeah,
it.
in the last 800 or so years, yeah, you've never been to this part of the station. This is uncharted territory.
It sounds rhythmical.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I know what we can do when we get there.
Okay.
It'll be so much fun.
This,
So, Karu, as you are looking around um, and hovering, you go through this doorway, um, and you almost immediately collide with this metal spike coming out of the wall.
oh, okay, that is okay. I've not been in this area before. Is this normal design for this area?
It seems some modifications have been made.
Okay.
This would
Modifications.
not be safe for children.
We can hang a sign on it.
Have the have the humans heard already? Have they sent you as a sort of advance guard?
Hello, Brick.
Oh, Clarky, book. How are things? Have you got any extra material you don't need?
As I was telling Karu, all of my records must stay intact. However, if I do find any uh, duplicates, I will turn those over for recycling.
Yes, I'm collecting waste to take to the recyclers to have it recycled down to its, you know, component parts, and then we can fabricate it into whatever.
Where do you get the component parts after you've recycled them?
Oh, that's beyond my duties. I take them to the recycle tubes, and that's where my duties end.
Mhm.
Do you have any waste? My
Oh,
my odor indicator is picking up something that could be classified as waste.
you know, not all the snacks have been consumed. What with the absence of organic consumers. Dice and I actually had a chat about this already. I just go outside and let it freeze and crystallize and disperse. When
As Karu 19 is a robot, he doesn't have a lot of facial expressions, but definitely different little lights like frantically start flashing at the thought of waste just being taken outside and allowed to freeze off. I can take old food and send it through the recycler and have it repurposed into new food.
Oh, excellent. I have a few trays here that you can collect from.
Oh yeah, Karu is over top, nozzle down, just hoovering up all the molded food.
And you're sure that new snacks could be produced from that?
That's my understanding. Someone would have to fabricate them, print them, but I can
I've
definitely.
been I've been practicing. I know how to make Vina sausages.
Well,
Excellent.
there will be plenty of opportunity now with this. I check my internal storage, and I'm 70% full of food waste. So
These spikes you're installing,
Hmm.
are they improvements?
Well, that is something that the humans will have to judge for themselves. But I've been cataloging all kinds of ideas about spaces they don't already have on the station. And this seems like a really exciting, dynamic kind of new space. Plus, you see the little the near the semi broadly spherical light reflecting device. That's
Hard to
kind
look
this
at.
is it's a little scintillating. But I feel like this is kind of like the physical analog. It shatters the space into all these motes, right? You can really get a handle on. And speaking of which, you can really pull yourself around on these things, right? Kind of useful
It's
too.
an interesting effect. I might suggest there's part of the station that you could probably dismantle. Uh, you might have to remantle it later when the humans return. But
What do you have in mind?
um, part of the ship I despise, the hangar bay. It's all metal. It's miles and miles of sheets of metal. Uh,
Mm.
they could probably be utilized. You wouldn't even have to use them all, just some of them.
you can break that metal. I can send it through the recycler, and it can be fabricated into new metal in whatever shape you want.
Why has it taken us 800 years to have this conversation?
Well, we've
You
been
are,
waiting.
I
but
mostly wander the halls aimlessly because I don't know where I am.
I think I've run past you a number of times and you just seem to be, I thought you were cleaning because you were just going back and forth a
Oh, that's
couple
two.
of meters.
That's two.
Oh,
Two, uh, they're they're balancing mechanisms off, so they kind of, weave in and out. I mean, just that's two.
right.
I'm 19.
Maybe, oh wow. So there's 219. How many of you are there?
12 and 7. Those are the active ones of us. The
And
others are
inactive?
they've been sent through the recycler and repurposed into other things.
All right. What other things?
Oh, that's beyond that's beyond my
We've
capacity.
got to find what's beyond the recycler. Maybe that's where the people have been for the last little while. Maybe they went beyond the recycler to get the new things,
We
and
we
we've just
do
been wandering around back here, and they're just over there.
we do recycle the deceased, because nothing goes to waste. It goes into the recycler, gets broken down and repurposed into snacks, maybe.
That's very exciting, Brick. We should learn where the recyclers are and see.
Yes. We need a good navigator. I assume, Clerk, you
Karu
have
has a
records.
compass.
Oh, I can't go to the recyclers. Off limits to Karu. All of us. So I don't think I could get you there,
Hmm.
even if my positioning was working.
Well, even if you're not allowed to go there yourself, you could possibly direct us. And there
Um,
might be a way around your protocol because you don't have to stay inside the ship all the time. There's a kind of brisk solar wind off the gas giant. Technically solar, but. there's interesting electromagnetic fluctuations when you're outside of the ship's cladding.
That's fascinating. I think if you could reprogram, because right now the recycler is just it's like it's a blind spot. It's like I know it exists, but I don't know where it exists. It's like
So
I could
you
be floating next to the door and it's just not there for me.
so you take things to an intake, but that's as far as you can
Yes, that is the end of
go.
yeah, that's the end of my duties.
All right. Well, clerk, you've got to have complete schematics for what's on the other side of his tube. Maybe there's something magnificent on the other side of his tube that he's never seen.
That certainly is possible. I would like you, though, to stay away from the records module. Do not modify anything on the outside of that. It might damage the internal records. The rest of the station is up to you to modify as you wish.
I mean, I didn't have any plans to interfere with your duties. I mean, Dice and I were just trying to improve the recreation area. We've been thinking that maybe the humans were just bored and that's why they haven't visited lately. But
Or
that
or or perhaps you've made it too unsafe for the children and they won't come back. These pointy things are unsafe.
We should put a sign on them. Children can read, can't they?
No, well, not when they're young. They're still
The
learning their alphabet. Remember? A, B, C, D.
E, F, G,
That's
H,
right.
I, J, K,
Sir Nunc
lambda,
Vim.
me, P, rho, sigma, tau,
Karu sees beside the table leg where the Monopoly game's set up.
E,
The thimble has fallen down. So
C,
as discreetly
omega.
as a robot can extend their arm and grab a thimble and put it into storage, it happens.
Do I see him take a thimble?
Off the ground.
So, Karu, we will have you, because you were not programmed for stealth,
Yeah.
roll 3d10s for me. Two, because you're not programmed to do this, one for your malfunction. And if any of them are zero, you don't succeed.
Okay. Nine, five, and a one. No zeros.
Okay, so yeah, you very discreetly suck up this thimble.
Put it into storage.
Do you have any other music? I was thinking we could dance, learn a dance.
Yes. What kind of dancing would you like to do?
It's called the Hokey Pokey.
The hokey pokey.
Yes, it
Um,
goes like this. You put your right appendage in, you put your right appendage out, you put your right appendage in, and you shake it all about.
How do we pick back up our appendage if we put our appendage in?
Well, children's appendages don't come off, so
Are you sure?
they're not supposed to.
We do not recycle appendages. They can be reattached. We understand.
So we are superior to them.
Children are still learning. They're not created intelligent the way we are. They learn and change.
I am in favor of checking out the reactor, I mean the recycling area, if you wish. My records can wait. My records can wait. My records can wait. Level 1 malfunction.
Hmm. Good to keep track of those. I have made as many new experience elevating spikes as I brought materials for, and there are limitations to what I have been able to scavenge. So if we can discover what is beyond the recycler, who knows what potential awaits. You can even record things you find there, clerk. And you
Field
might,
trip. Field trip. Let's learn. Let's all go.
Be new games.
I like this spike you made.
thank you. I think it adds to the dynamism of the space. I have quite a few ideas about other spaces. I have recollections that I can attempt to describe to you of spaces that I made specifically when they were requested by humans, but it has been a little bit since there have been any requests. Do you have records of why this place, why the why people made this place to begin with?
My records are almost entirely about the crew and the people who were staying here. I might be able to access. I possibly.
I have had an idea. Maybe while we wait for the humans to return, you should tell us some things about them, and we can play like we're them.
As an entertainment.
And to remind us what it was like when the humans were around, because I'm finding part of the difficulty is that without humans to guide me, I I don't I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to do.
I'm intrigued. I have been under the impression that a great many of their uh, coverings, their wardrobe, remained on the ship. I assumed they either didn't need them or would come back for them. Since there is no natural deterioration of materials on the ship, thanks to the lack of bacteria of any kind, they should
So
be intact.
we go to the living quarters, and you can tell us what human donned what synthetic. Maybe we
Yes.
can even have name tags. You can make name tags, Janet.
Oh, yes. We have a pile of name tags for the children. And when adults come to speak to teach the children things, they have name tags as well.
I like
To the
this
living
idea.
quarters. Guide us, Karu.
Kairu is a very good guide. He got us here.
I
Shouldn't have my
I
storage and pull the compass back out.
I am unable to travel with you to the living quarters.
Why?
Is it like Karu? You have a protocol against entering certain areas of the station?
I have no particular protocol. Um, it's just I don't go there anymore. I avoid it.
Maybe that's where the rest of your games are. And
We will bring you a costume.
Yes, I can attend. I can accompany you close to the living quarters, but it
This is for entertainment purposes. Do you want male or female clothing or something else?
um something with yes, something with nice sequins would be good. It would dazzle quite nicely with the flashing lights.
It may become confusing, but we shall see. Karu, please take us to the
All right.
living quarters.
Okay, Karu, roll 1d10 for me, please.
That's an 8.
Okay, so after about 8 days, you reach the living quarters.
Oh, the sights we have seen along the way.
This room belonged to Margaret Schuster, and I put my hand on the pad to open the door.
what do you know about Margaret Schuster?
Margaret Schuster was born on a planet called Earth in 3493. Uh, she was married to, I give you this long list of
Do you have
information,
their
all of her medical
phone numbers,
records,
addresses where they're
phone numbers,
born,
addresses, medical records, uh,
education history?
education history, everything.
What
Uh,
was her role on the station?
she had no formal job other than tending to her children and husband, an old-fashioned thing called homemaker.
I'm kind of a homemaker. Maybe I should don the cladding of Margaret Schuster. Unless there are sequins, and then we can take them out for dice. But no, this uh and I give the coordinates for a maroon color in.
We'll look through her wardrobe and see what we can find. I'm not sure this is going to fit you.
Yeah, I just sort of pull a synthetic knit thing over my frontal unit onto my neckish area and then turn it around a bit. Margaret Schuster, homemaker. I too make homes. This is a good game. Dice is going to like this. And
Here's
I
something with,
look back
yeah,
down the corridor at Dice, who, yeah.
here's something with sequins. I believe chartreuse is a good color for dice.
To whom did this belong, clerk?
This belonged to a young woman named Patty Schuster, I believe the daughter of Margaret Schuster. Full medical, full education.
Mm.
Last record shows that she was 19. I'm not sure if this will fit dice, but there is a baseball hat.
Well, I don't know what that means. It sounds like two different categories, but perhaps Dice will be able to elucidate. I'll
Baseball
roll it
was a
out.
game.
Dice loves games, but hat is cladding. Cladding and games are not the same, is not my concern.
Next room. Yeah. This room belonged to James Jensen. I shall choose something from here.
Both those names start with J.
What did James do?
James was a scientist. He worked on the uh, gas spectroscopy, studying the gas giant nearby, which has a designation of Aurora 27.
Karu, you know, there's all these, you think the humans called them shoes. You saw them wear them on their feet, but there are a bunch of shoes on the floor in all of these rooms.
I see. I don't think we're going to need I don't need uh these shoes that the humans wore on their feet. Do any of you need these shoes? I mean, otherwise they're waste that could be put through the recycler and broken down to its component parts and repurposed for something else.
My records show that none of these people would currently be alive any longer. They would have no need for any of this clothing.
All right. Uh Karu goes into just cleaning mode and is I mean, you see arms grabbing articles of clothing, shoes. You see the little tube come out and is sucking up smaller items of clothing. And after a few minutes, a little red blinking LED light goes off, and there's a announcement, not in Garu's voice, that the waste storage compartments are full.
Well, it'll give you something to do.
I must find a recycler tube.
Should we follow?
And perhaps we can learn where they go.
Karu is kind of just autopiloting out of the room and down the hallway.
Okay, so are you saying, so now that you're full, do you know the direction of the recycle tube?
I think so. I think they're probably fairly common, like trash cans, in a place.
Okay.
There's plenty around. So probably wouldn't have to go too far to find one.
Okay, so you go around a corner, and you find a recycling tube. And at the base of that recycling tube, you see Karu 7 on its side on the ground in front of the tube.
Oh, Karu 7. Reach out a little arm, nudge.
Karu
7.
7 does not respond.
Oh, a 7. Turns around and says, I'm gonna it seems 7 has stopped functioning. Which means I'm going to have to recycle 7, which is kind of a personal thing. If you all could give me a moment of privacy, it's just a personal thing between us units.
Well,
Yes, of course. I turn my back.
you mean you wish me to turn sensors away from you putting a device into a hole?
Uh, yes, please. It's something. I guess it's something picked up from the humans of they had a ritual with their non-functioning counterparts.
We can
Recycling.
we can return to the rec room and see how the play of light from the hanging sphere looks on Dice's chartreuse sequined gown.
Yes, I will empty my storages. I will deal with seven, and then I will rejoin you in the recreational room.
But I want to see where this chute goes. I want to see what is beyond the recycler.
Well, I'm not sure you can tell that from the chute itself, and I reach in and grab a sock and put it in the chute, and it sucks in and goes.
We put our head in the chute and look down.
I'm gonna say it's too small.
Um, we can check the master plans of the station. Um, unless, Brick, you've altered them.
I haven't altered the plans. There has been some improvisation, but
We can update them.
that's. Does everyone have a new name and costume? Dice, you are Schuster 19. I'm Homemaker. Uh, Clark is wearing part of Jensen Scientist. Karu was too busy collecting shoes. Janet, did you find a human counterpart?
I did not. I'm sorry. I did not follow the rules of the game.
Hmm.
Are the humans back?
Not yet.
Oh, they did not like
We are going to
the
pretend to be
spikes.
the humans.
They don't know what we've done. Perhaps after we find the end of recycling, we can attempt to contact them directly.
And let's do that instead of returning to the rec room. Uh, there should be something in the Hall of Records that will show us where to go.
If only there were more records that weren't so obvious. If there was a secondary cache of more important records, perhaps that's where the secrets are hidden.
Karu is
There's so many things we don't know. Sorry, Karu.
No, it's okay. Karu is putting items of clothing in the recycler. Gets to the little thimble, starts to go in, looks at it, and then puts it back in, grabs other clothing, hooks its tube up of other waste, and you know it goes out. And then it's cleared all of its stores except for one little metal thimble. And just picks up seven and is just waiting.
You stay. I will go find the records. And I'm going to shuffle off quickly, looking over my shoulder, making sure they're not following.
I can help.
No, no. No, thank you.
Clark, it sounds like you're going to be playing a game.
Don't try to find me.
While they're focused on Clark, Karu zooms around the corner towards, unbeknownst to them, the Karu penthouse, which maybe he'll find. Who knows?
And I'm heading for the restricted
Okay, so
Hall of Records.
what are the other three of you doing?
I am putting on the sequence gown that Brick's got for me, or trying to. I've kind of
Yeah, it sounds like Clark has invented a game and or knows where to find the records about the the other end of recycling. So we should pursue him.
I think we should.
What do they say, the children, Janet? Ready or ready or ready or ready or not? What is it?
Yes, hide and seek, a fun game. Yes, ready or not. Here we come.
Here we come.
Okay, so the three of you are going to also the Hall of Records. Karu, describe for us the Karu penthouse.
So Karu finds the penthouse door. It belonged to Irene Reynolds. Um, and he wedges it open because he doesn't have the hand capability of doing it, but he has, left the door cracked a little bit where he can get his little hands and arms in there and pull it aside. So he goes in, and there are the remain, the other, I guess, 17 Karus or 16 Karus. My math's bad. A number of Karus in there. Some are on the bed. They're not positioned in any way. They're just kind of laying where they can, uh, on the bed, on the floor, chair. One's in the bathtub. One's on the table. Um, but they're all kind of pointed in a direction that when one would come into the room, they're all looking that way. If they had faces, so they're all facing. He comes in and is holding seven. Is kind of looking around for a place to put seven, and sees just a little open spot on like a vanity mirror, like makeup station type thing. Goes over and lays him on there and kind of tries to position him. He is a little big for it. Seven is a little big for it, so he positions seven to where it's kind of looking towards the door. Then Caro 19 kind of backs up and just kind of takes in, knows there's only three functioning Karus left and just contemplates a little bit of how long, before the other two go, or if maybe he'll go before them.
Okay. So the three of you make it to the Hall of Records. Clark, are you still in the Hall of Records itself?
Well, I go directly through it and I go up to the the panel on the wall. I put my hand to open up the restricted section, which is dimly lit with very ominous looking red light and a flashing restricted uh, sign flashes as I go inside. But I'm not looking behind me because they wouldn't follow me. At least that's my belief. And I
Okay, so
start,
how you start looking through records.
yeah,
Are these records also no longer in any discernible order to you?
yeah, they're kind of messed up. I mean, it's been
Oh.
813
Mhm.
years, and I've been taking them all out, putting them all back again many times.
Okay.
Uh,
So the three of you arrive and you find Clerk 9 going through all these records in this dimly lit space.
I turn to Brick and Janet and I say, "Well, we found him, Janet. What do we
I
do
turn around,
now?"
restricted, restricted, restricted.
Is that a rule of the game? Ollie, Ollie Oxenfree, Marco.
Restricted. I'll drop the files on the floor and just walk towards them and step out and reseal the door.
That was a very good hiding place, clerk.
We found him right away, Janet. Oh, you are, your protocol is to encourage even, right.
You are not allowed in the restricted area.
We did not ask to be in the restricted area. Did you find the records we wanted?
insufficient time.
We didn't stop you. Where did the
My protocols,
recycling?
my protocols will not allow me to go in that room as long as there is somebody observing.
Do you remember when the humans were here? I had to build so many little rooms for them. For that,
I miss them. I'm sad. I miss them.
we weren't put here to be sad or to miss them. We were put here to do what they need. You had to training pot them, and I had to build all the little suction mechanisms for their anti-food.
Did you know about the restricted area? Did you
Mo-
build the restricted area?
Most of the station was built before any of us got here. I was about the expansion, putting new things on as needed.
I'm experiencing internal conflict. The need for information from the restricted area and the need for not revealing the restricted area.
Well, what if we what if we turn our backs?
I don't know. It may work, it may not.
I turn around.
In the game, the children would cover their eyes
I
like
don't have
this.
You've already seen it. So perhaps we shall try. But I think I need to make some sort of conflict
Okay.
resolution
Well,
because I am
let's
now
just put
going
it.
way outside my protocols.
Okay. Roll 3 dice for me.
All D10s.
Yep. Don't roll a 0.
Okay. 2 8s and a 9.
Okay. So it's not a 0. So this you will succeed. But let's just say. Okay. So you do eventually find the record you're looking for. It only takes you 25 days.
I have
In
the
this
file.
time, Karu has somehow managed to find his way back to the Hall of Records.
Oh, hey,
No,
this place is new. No, it's not. Wait, this room is new. That room wasn't new.
I
All right,
have
so
the schemata leading to the recycling areas of the ship. They are 14 decks down.
Karu, do you know what your compass does point down because basically that's gravity. Um, if you can't go all the way, you could at least uh, start the journey.
I figure I can lead you all until I mean, you would have to say there's the door to the recycler because I don't, I don't think I'm programmed to see it. So I could lead you to that point, but you would have to stop me at that point, or I'm just going to keep going.
I can upload the schemata into Karu so that he will know where he's going or attempt to. If the neural pathways are not clear, it won't help, but I'll plug them into your head. Perhaps we'll get there this year.
So I think if you've um, uploaded a direct path, I think that Karu could follow that.
Okay. So you all are people okay to go a little over the 2 hours?
Yes.
We'll wrap this up pretty soon. Um, so car 19, you lead them down into the bowels of the station. Okay. As you're making your way down there, there's all these doors and locked and sealed spaces. Um, Janet, you've actually made your way down here once before. And you all start passing by a door that you know quite well.
That he knows quite well, but not us.
Yes. Yeah.
I I run my hand along the door and hum in a very um, contented way.
B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K,
LMNOP.
L. That's the part I get stuck on.
That's my
This
favorite
is
part.
this is my special place.
You come down here?
I have been here.
Does it require any modifications or improvements? Do you have any idea
No,
about?
no, it's just waiting for when the humans come back. And then they'll have my babies, and I can teach them.
Lead on, Karu.
Carrying on.
Okay. So we'll say it takes a while. None of you are you're uh it feels like days go by as you wind your way down to the 14th deck. And you finally arrive at this massive sealed off door with all these red, like there's red and yellow striping on it, that says warning, do not enter. Dangerous machinery, recycle room.
I
You're
think
muted,
Karu
David.
just
That
does
seems
not see the door.
this. I think Garu 19. We have arrived someplace that looks very interesting. Um, how does it? Are we? Is this hot? Are we very radioactive? Am I enjoying it, or what do I get other than all this, you know,
You
busy
you
language?
feel a vibration um, through the door, not radiation, but there's something moving in there.
My friends, we've arrived at something exciting. Um,
D is for dog. A is for alligator. N
Sure.
is for
Can somebody point me
Very
towards the
good,
door?
clerk.
Move me towards the door?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, of course, dear.
And Karu
Turn.
just moves an arm extends and rests against the door and to feel the vibrations. It's the ending.
Hmm. It's the beginning of a whole new wing, a whole new adventure. Countless modules, nodes, platforms, struts.
But are there people?
Oh, I don't think this is a people place. That's people. Don't they land on little, shiny bits from outside?
They land in the hangar, and the hangar is currently completely empty.
Well, Janet, do you see the button, the jolly red candy-like button that opens the door to the other side of this station?
Everyone be careful. And yeah, push whatever button there is.
You push the button, the doors move aside. There is this blinding light, and that is where we will end the game.
Oh, fair.
We've been recycled.
Amazing.
Wow. I was
I
going to
think I
say there
know.
at the end that after 25 days of going through all of the records, I probably know about the embryos.
Can I
I just
say
didn't know what Jan was talking about.
there's a last, a lasting shot outside this door of just a Monopoly thimble just outside.
Spinning around in the hallway.
All right. But I think if we're going to give this a name, I think it should be Beyond the Recycler.
Good.
Beyond the recycler.
That was great. That is
lot of
exactly
fun.
my type of game.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I did
Thank you all for
very
playing.
much.
Let's see, where is my outro? There it is. Our players included Steve Anderson, Julian Arba, Kent Blue, David Gasaway, and myself, with Morgan Llewellyn as the game master. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of the Sad Robots role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.